Hey y'all, what's good, what's poppin'? So for today's video, I thought I'd just keep it simple and show you guys an updated everyday makeup routine. What I do for my makeup when I just want to step outside and feel myself and face the world, but I'm not trying to stunt, you know what I mean? This is just what I do on an everyday basis, and this isn't like every single day, but on the days where I do decide that I want to wear some makeup, but I'm not really going for a look, you know what I mean? This is what I do, and these are the products that I'm currently loving. But before we get into it though, I just want to say thank you to all my new and returning subscribers out there. Thank you so much for being here, for continuing to support the channel and to watch all my videos. And I just want to say, if you haven't already, just be sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button, and as well be sure to click that bell button so you get a notification every time I make a new upload. And with that, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, first things first, before I go in with any other product, I like to just go ahead and conceal first. If y'all been watching me for the past couple months or so, y'all know that my makeup routine is very simple. I'm a big fan of the natural beat, and I just like my skin to shine through. I don't really mind a little blemish here or there. I do try my best to cover it up, but skin is skin. It's not perfect. None of us are perfect, so I do what I can to kind of just correct and conceal some of my bigger problem areas. But overall, I like to just skip a base altogether and just go in with concealer where I need it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just conceal the blemishes around my face, and then I'm also gonna do just a little bit under the eyes. So I went ahead and used the Coverfx Power Play concealer, and this is my new favorite concealer. I really love this. So for the under eyes, I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that in right away to just kind of neutralize any dark circles I have going on, anything like that, and make me look a little bit more awake and alive. So that's the under eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and let the concealer sit on the blemishes, the spots I'm trying to conceal, because I find that if you go ahead and blend this concealer out pretty much right away after you set it, it blends out as more of like a color corrector, and it leaves a very light wash of color and just helps to correct it. So I like to do that for my under eyes. But then for the blemishes, I find that if you just let it set for a second and let some of that moisture evaporate, I guess, and let it thicken up a little bit, it leaves behind a fuller coverage. So you can go ahead and buff it out after you've let it sit for a minute, but you'll still have all that coverage there, so it'll actually cover up the blemishes pretty well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just take this spoolie and brush my brows out so I can see what we're working with and how my hairs are looking. So I kind of just brush them up and out and just lay them how I would naturally let my eyebrows lay. So next I'm gonna go ahead and use this Glossier brow flick, and this is in the shade Black. And so as you can see, I have my brows laid and I can see how everything's looking. I do have a little bit of sparseness going on right here and right here though. So I like to take this and just go ahead. And what this is really good for, because it has a fine tip, it's really great at just getting in there and creating hair-like strokes. So I'm not trying to shape up my brows or anything. I'm really just going in and just drawing some hairs in some of the spots where I'm just lacking a little bit. So as you can see, that brow still looking very natural, very juicy, very lovely, but she's nice and filled in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and repeat the same thing on this eye. And then once I've had a chance to dry and set, I do just like to go ahead and brush through my brows one more time just to relay the hairs and also to kind of soften up the look just a little bit. So if I have any super harsh lines, they're not standing out. So now that I've gone ahead and let my concealer have a little bit of time to set and dry, I'm just gonna go ahead and take this Morphe M173 brush. Unlike a beauty blender, it won't actually lift the concealer, so you still have all that coverage, but it buffs out beautifully into the skin. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take that and really focus on buffing the concealer out. And I'm gonna kind of avoid buffing over the blemishes too much and just kind of buff out the edges and help it blend seamlessly into the skin so that I still have all that coverage on top of the blemishes, but it's also gonna leave an undetectable finish on the skin. And this concealer is really good for that. That's what I love about this concealer so much. And then any excess I have, I'm just gonna go ahead and take it like right into the center of my face, right up around my nose and all that, and just kind of cancel out all that, because I have some redness going on in these areas. And now is my favorite part. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with some bronzer. If y'all have watched my more natural tutorial, I've never really been a huge fan of bronzer, but ever since I've been on vacation and I got all these compliments from everyone coming back about how tan I was, I've just been really loving the tan look. I really love how it makes my skin look, and it just makes me feel like, I don't know, I just feel really confident with the tan. I really love the tan look. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer, and this is in the shade Blaze. So this is the darker of the two shades they offer. They do have two shades. They have another one, I think it's called Baked, and that one's, I don't know if y'all can tell from this, it's kind of neutral toned and it's pretty brown. The other one is a little bit more warm tone and it's a little bit more on the orange side. I feel like it would work good for some skin tones, but on me, it just barely does anything for me, so I had to upgrade to the Blaze so that I could actually see it on my skin. And I like to take it on this Real Techniques powder brush. Now, I know this says it's a powder brush, but y'all know I don't really powder my face that much, but what I love about this is that it's tapered and it has a really fluffy head. I don't want to use a brush that has too dense of bristles or or anything like that because I just want to deposit the color slowly and build it up. I don't want to go ahead and go in with some harsh color right off the jump because it's a lot easier to just build up your bronzer than to correct it after the fact. So I go ahead and take it on one side like this, and I kind of just pat it on the skin to start bronzing. And I don't know if y'all can see from my forehead, but it's already giving me a little bit of bronze up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just deepen the bronze on my forehead a little bit until I'm satisfied with the color. Take it out to the temples. And I'm starting to get a really beautiful and natural bronze color, which is another thing I love about this. I love that it's a cream product. It just blends really seamlessly into the skin. And then next I'm gonna go ahead and bronze up the cheeks. So to bronze the cheeks, I feel like a lot of people on YouTube, they kind of use bronzer and contour as the same thing, and it's really not. So for a contour, you would want to go like underneath the cheekbone and sculpt upwards to kind of give that definition. Before a bronzer, you want to make it look like how your skin would look if the sun is naturally hitting your face. So you want to start from the top of the cheekbones, and again, I'm just kind of patting it on, not swiping it or anything. And you want to work from the top of your cheekbones down. I don't know if y'all can tell the difference between this side and this side, but this is just looking nice and bronzed and beautiful. And this side's looking a little flat, a little dull, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and fix that. So I'm just gonna keep patting this on top of the cheekbones, and again, working from the top of the cheeks down instead of from the bottom of the cheekbones up to give that bronzed effect instead of that sculpted look. Again, just applying from the top of the cheekbones down. I'm gonna go ahead and take some more and just run it down my nose because again, you wanna bronze wherever the sun would naturally catch your face, and the sun would definitely naturally catch your nose. She'd be sticking out. And then, so I went ahead and bronzed with this side, and then as you can see, the other side of the brush is clean. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use that to kind of just gently blend everything in, make everything seamless, really blend it up into the hairline up here. I feel like another part of really just executing that natural sun-kissed look is adding just a little bit of blush, not too much, but you know, when you spend a considerable amount of time in the sun, you generally get a little burnt as well as tan. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my Ilia Multistick. So this is in the shade Dreamer. I don't know if y'all can tell on camera, but this is a nice pinky brown nude shade. And I like to go ahead and just take some on my finger like so, and just gently dot it on the apples of the cheeks. I don't wanna go too heavy. And I just wanna take some and run it along my nose too. I'm just gonna go ahead and take my beauty blender and just go ahead and buff over everything just to kind of soften it up a little bit. So that's my face. I'm looking very bronzed, and as you can see, because I used a lot of cream products as well, my skin is looking pretty dewy already. Now I'm a huge fan of the radiant skin look. I don't mind walking around looking like a glazed donut. I really don't. If y'all are following along at home and this is looking like enough glow for you, you're free to stop here, but I'm not going to. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with a really subtle highlighter. One product that I've really been loving recently is this Towers 28 Beauty Super Dew. It's a really nice subtle highlighter. It just gives you that nice dewy skin look. It's not a blinding highlight or anything like that, so it's really good for a daytime look, but I've already featured that in a video, so I'm gonna go ahead and use something else. I'm gonna take this Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Spotlight, and this is in the shade Opal. So this is like the same shade as the Opal highlighter, the pressed powder, but unlike the Becca pressed powder highlights, which are blinding, I find that this is actually a more subdued and subtle highlighter. It does have something in it. It's not completely clear like the Super Dew is, but it's not chunky or glittery or anything like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take the applicator and just dot it right on the high points of the face where I want to highlight. So on the cheekbones, I'm gonna do a little bit, and then I'll also highlight just the tip of the nose. I don't wanna go too overboard because my skin's already looking pretty dewy since everything I used was a cream product. So this is just to add that little extra highlight to the high points of the face. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just take a finger and gently buff it into the skin. And as you can see, it just adds a little bit of extra sheen right to the high points of the face, really catches your attention, but it's not, you know, super blinding like I said, like the pressed highlights are. It's not super distracting or anything like that, so it's really good for a daytime look. And actually, I'm gonna layer it up just a little bit on the cheeks. I feel like they could use a little bit of extra sparkle. And also do just like a tiny dollop right in the inner corner of my eye just to brighten that area up and wake it up. I just want to pop just a tiny bit right in the brow bone as well, just to highlight that. And then lastly, I'm just gonna go ahead and do my lips. Daytime or nighttime, I'm wearing a nude lip. I really can't see myself in any other colors. I have so many options, I can't really decide what I want to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Glossier Generation G, and this is in the shade Cake. So this shade is a nice warm peachy nude. nude. I really love this one for the daytime. I love their other one, Leo, for the nighttime. That one's more of like a brownie nude. So I'm just gonna go ahead and swipe it on the lips. So this is a matte finish. As you can see, it's not really satiny or glossy at all, but it is a very comfortable lip color. It almost feels like a lip balm. Like, it definitely isn't moisturizing. If you have dry lips, I definitely would not depend on this to moisturize your lips. As long as you already went ahead and moisturized your lips beforehand and you're not having any issues with dried or chapped lips, you can just go ahead and pop this color on and go about your day, and you're not gonna have any problems. Actually, hold on, I got one more product. Okay, so this is actually the last step. I don't always do this, but if I'm feeling a little bit extra, I'll go ahead and just throw on some mascara to emphasize my lashes. I don't really have a preference. I'll just use whatever is either like a free sample or 100 points or whatever at Sephora that I can get my hands on. So currently I'm using this Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. That was what they had on offer last time. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little bit to start. I don't do too many layers. I like them to still look natural, but you know, I like to emphasize what I got going on and really make my lashes stand out and make them look beautiful. Jonah, you've been barking for 10 minutes. If someone was gonna break into the house, they would have broken already. So there's my lashes. As you can see, they're really standing out and they're really emphasized, but they do look a little crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this. Don't pay attention to this. This is a Dior Show mascara thing that I had a sample of, but it's dry. This applicator just really made my lashes look nice and natural. So since I'm all out of product in there, I'm just gonna go ahead and run it through my lashes, kind of like as a lash separator. All right, so I gotta make this a little quick because my card just ran out of memory and I had to delete some more photos from it. Who needs memories? But anyways, that is my current everyday makeup routine. Just went ahead and threw on some concealer, went ahead and filled in my brows a little bit, did a little bronzing, threw on some blush, a little bit of liquid highlight, a little nice matte nude lip, and as well, if I'm feeling it, I'll throw on some mascara. So that is what my everyday makeup routine consists of for those days when I just want to step it up a little bit and serve some face and put my best face forward when I'm stepping out into the world. Let me know what products y'all are into for an everyday makeup look. Let me know if you guys are a fan of any of these products down below. Leave a comment below letting me know what y'all think about this video, what you liked or what you disliked. Let me know what type of videos y'all want to see in the future. Again, just a reminder, if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button and click the bell button as well so you get a notification every time I upload. And with that being said, hopefully I'll be back shortly with a new video. Bye.